Although Microsoft Teams has a batch of features which help groups work effectively while not in the same room, I'd like to focus on a couple of particular items that most people are going to use from the beginning. One is the teams themselves. We start with the teams by clicking the icon on the left here, and if we don't have the Create Team button available in the middle for a brand new start of the program, we can click the gear down here at the bottom, and then up at the top right we can go ahead and click on the Create a Team button and then start making our decisions about the setup of the team. The question of building the team from scratch or from an existing Office 365 group or team, if we're relatively new to Teams, we'll probably build it from scratch, so I'll click that. Then we have to decide private or public. We usually go private because we want to make sure that the team will stay focused on the reasons for it. The team manager will want to keep those people to a reasonable number, so I'll click on private here as an example. Then of course we have to give our team a name and a description. The names should be short but understandable and usually describe something pertaining to the team. And then of course we would click Create at the bottom. Once the team has been started, we would usually want to add at least a few people to it. If we didn't happen to have this dialog box pop up immediately, I'll go ahead and click Skip to demonstrate this. We could go to the name of the team here on the left, click the Options drop down, and then specify we wanted to add one or more members. We could go ahead and type in the member names or email addresses. You can add people outside your organization, but a network admin will have to enable the guest features involved. That's usually an Active Directory matter. Otherwise, it's pretty much just typing in names or email addresses. I'll go ahead and use the other login I have available here, type the first few letters, and the name appears, give a click, and then, as you can see, I would just hit Add. I could repeat this as often as I needed to add all the other members I'll initially want in the team, and then when I'm done, I would click Close down here at the bottom. From this point, if I wanted to look at my membership, I could again click the drop down for the options here and click on Manage Team. I can now see myself as the owner here. If I click the little twister arrow next to members and guests, here's the other person. Anybody who's an owner can elevate a member to be an owner. The idea of having at least two owners to a team is generally a good one, because having at least two owners means there's always a backup if the one person isn't available. Teams can also involve pending requests, channels, and here are the settings for the specifics of any team, adding a picture, member permissions, guest permissions, and so on. Channels are usually going to find some use within Teams, sometimes just a couple, sometimes several. I can click on Channels here and add a channel if I need to from the button on the right, or I can again go back to the Team drop down for the options and click on Add Channel here. As before, I need to give the channel some information, a name for example, and a description. Again, these should be kept fairly succinct. We also need to determine the level of privacy. Standard, as you can see, would be accessible to everyone on the team, private only to a specific group of people within the team. Again, there's no one right answer. It's going to depend on the nature of the team, nature of the channel, and who's involved in what within the team. I'll just go with standard for the moment and click on Add. After a few more seconds, we should see the channel pop up over here underneath the team name. At the bottom of any channel window, no matter whether it's general or sample here in my screen, there will be a conventional space for messaging type conversations. If I click the name of whichever channel, go down here and click in the space for the new conversation, and type whatever and hit enter, the conversation immediately starts. So the channel is, to all intents and purposes, at least in part, a chat area. Regular chats work the same way. If I go up to the chat icon over here and give it a click, the only thing I'll have to do is add the person I want to chat with to my list of favorites or any other list of contacts, clicking the drop down for options, adding a contact, and again typing in the name, first few letters thereof, clicking on the name when it pops up, and clicking add. I can then immediately go to that person, and having clicked, I can go down here, type a new message, and the conversation can go on. In fact, it can turn into a video or audio chat anytime I want. I can click the button for a video call here or for an audio call here, and assuming the other person and I both have the hardware, we can set that up immediately. As for more team encompassing video and audio meetings, or calls as the program refers to them, all I would have to do is click on the call button here, and if I want to meet with just one person, give them a click here on the video or audio icons. For the entire team, almost identical procedure. Click the Teams icon again, and at the bottom of whichever team or channel window, I have the button for Meet Now. Simply clicking the button essentially starts the meeting. I can add a subject, and when I click Meet Now, everyone will be invited to join in. Very straightforward. There's quite a bit more to see in Teams, but these are the main things getting into operation right off the bat.